Hi, friends and bookkeepers. Welcome back to my channel. Hi, I'm Helen, and I help bookkeepers and I help roofers with their bookkeeping, their advisory services, their profits, job costing. So welcome to my channel. And today, this video where most people finally realize something important. Follow-up has ever felt awkward, uncomfortable, or pushy to you. I want you to know right away that feeling is not your fault. It usually means you were never taught a system-only tactics. So in this 7-part marketing system that we've been going through, our next step is the follow-up. We went through our website. We've done social media. We did our lead magnet. Last week, I showed you how to get someone to book a call with you. And then on my website, Roof for Profits, I did that. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the next step, which is the follow-up. Maybe somebody received one of your lead magnets and you sent them an email, or you called them, or you offered for them to book a call with you. Then this is going to be our follow-up once somebody interacts with, and it's really important to get back with someone just as soon as they interact with you. Even if it's the same few minutes, the same hour, the same day. If it doesn't happen the same day, then the next day, please do. You'll notice like sometimes you will go and watch a webinar, and so you have to enter in your phone number and all of that kind of good stuff. So as soon as that webinar is over, you're going to get that phone call. So that is their follow-up system. They have a system for this. They know when that webinar went on and they know when it ended. And so now we've got to follow up with everyone that attended our webinar. So that is a great example through that. So we're going to do a walkthrough and nurture system together so you can help people move from one place into another into your business. But why follow-up feels uncomfortable? Most people avoid it because it feels personal, like you're invading someone's space, that you're disturbing someone. And we don't want to bother anybody, especially when we're new to marketing and we're new in this business. The real issue isn't follow-up, it's the lack of a clear process. Personally, for myself, since I have my system, it's just the backbone of everything. It's the frame of everything. Everything just flows right through here for people that I can help, that I can serve, that I can help them transform their life. I can guide them through everything. So the people that are interested, some people are just looking around. Some people are maybe they're just putting their feet barely in the water. And some people are ready to go right now. I have to get this taken care of. It depends on at the aware state that they are in. Sometimes you have to make them aware, especially with bookkeeping, that they put that all to the back of their brain because they don't even want to think about that. It seems a daunting task that they're going to have to do, whether they have to hire somebody to do it, whether they're doing it themselves, or they've got to get paperwork together. And that's the thing that they hate most, is having to get the paperwork together, sending invites to their different softwares and programs and things like that. So just think about, like, when you're following up with someone too, like where their business is, and when you have that one-on-one call with them of what that they're struggling with. So when you follow up with them, you can then just touch on some of those points and even provide for them of how you could really help them solve that problem with minimal help from them. And that's always the key, especially with contractors, roofing contractors, any construction, is minimal effort to them. Because if they think that they're going to have to produce all this paperwork and do all of these things, it's going to stall them wanting you to do the bookkeeping, the advisory work for them. So you just want to have a clear system, a clear process, and know exactly what you need to ask them on the phone. And just for a tip, I mean, you can go into your Chat GPT and just tell ChatGPT to write me 5 questions, 10 questions that I can ask the contractor when I get on the call with them. And so ChatGPT will give you the whole thing. You can read over that. You can practice reading over that. And I think it even helps if you get on Zoom. I left the link last week for Zoom for a free account where you just get on Zoom, you do a recording, you just get used to seeing your face on the camera. Sometimes when we first get on the camera, even when we're meeting in Zoom, we just don't like to do that. We're unfamiliar with looking at our face on a camera. I think that's a good practice that you can do. So you can even be talking like I'm talking and like just go over your questions, the expressions on your face, different things, of how you want your hair to look, if you want to wear earrings, if you don't, if you want to wear these, or what kind of microphone you have. And that's a good time to look at what kind of microphone you have and also the internet connection that you also have too. So those are just some things when you're doing that. But once a follow-up is placed inside of the system, that pressure disappears because you know the next thing that you're going to do. Once I get the lead magnet, I'm going to text them or I'm going to call them or email them. A lot of times for myself, I like just to email the person. That way I don't feel like I am interrupting them because contractors can be like really busy. And then I know if they respond to the email because they get all their emails, I assure you, because they have customers emailing them. So they get all their emails. So then you do have a chance to connect with them. You can always, in your email, if you're using Gmail, have in the signature portion automatic in your settings, like a link to book an appointment with you, so that it's already there in the email and you can just talk to them and just be friendly, be nice, just talk to them like they're your friend. That's how I present myself to people anyway. I'm just being myself. You reached out to me, you got the QuickBooks Online setup checklist, and I just wanted to follow up with you to see if you needed any help with your QuickBooks Online. Maybe you have a bookkeeper that needs help with it. And if you would like to book a free call with me, please click on the link and I will be glad to take a look at your QuickBooks and speak to you and see what your next steps in getting it set up is. Okay. So your message is going to be clearly like what they got from you, or if they made a comment on a post, if you were talking about profits in that comment. And so then you could go more into how many jobs are you doing a week, a year, whatever. They always know that number. They will know their sales number and they will know how many jobs that they typically do a year. Then you can divide that by 12 just to average that out and then figure out how many jobs that they do. So you can help them with their job costing per job. If not per job, because sometimes we don't have all the information for that. If we know they did 20 jobs a year, then whatever the gross profit was, then we can divide that beside with the 20 jobs that they did. So that's another way you can do that as well. But follow-up isn't about convincing someone to buy. It's about helping people remember, stay informed, and gain clarity, especially financial clarity in their business and what they're doing. Like I say, contractors are busy, distracted, and they are heavily marketed. So just keep that in mind. Just because a roofer doesn't call you back or whatever, they're just heavily marketed and they could be having a bad day. They could be really busy that day. I find like with roofing contractors on Mondays and Fridays are the best days. On Mondays, they're just getting started up, so they're in the office more. On Fridays, they're paying everybody, so they're in the office more on Friday and tying up jobs. So that's what I have learned as far as follow up to help you as well. And you can ask them if you got on a one-on-one call with them and they aren't ready to move forward yet. Can I follow up with you in a couple weeks and see how it's going and see if we can go ahead and get your problems resolved? Let me fix this for you. I would love to fix this for you. They love for somebody to fix something for them, all contractors. So just keep that in mind. But when you see follow up as a service instead of a sales tactic, it becomes easier, calmer, and more professional. And you can talk more like you're talking to a friend versus getting into the sales head. Nurture supports people between interest and action. Like I say, everybody, is going to be at a different point where they're just looking, they're just researching. Some people aren't even aware of their problems, or in bookkeeping, it comes to they're aware of a small problem, but they actually have a mountain that has to be climbed. Sometimes they're not aware of all of that, especially when it comes, you've got to set up QuickBooks, you've got to clean up things, you have to get documents, and you've got to get it all syncing together. But people will be in different places. Not everyone is ready to book a call the moment they find you. You have to just keep nurturing that. And that's why I really love like sending out a weekly email to everybody like that commented or they got the free product that I was giving away. Then I will just send an email every week giving them some kind of value. At the bottom, I will have book a call if they want to book a call. And I had a true story to that is on one of my Q&As that I did, surprisingly, some roofing company that I didn't actually know, she showed up. And so we had a really nice conversation. And so probably, I don't know, 2 months down the road, right before Christmas, she called me and she was just in a mess. She's, I have posted your name and phone number and everything. She called me like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. I have posted your name and phone number on my wall here because I really needed your help. So we did like a half VIP day with her and got her books like totally all cleaned up. When you're doing bookkeeping for people, it doesn't have to be just cleanup or QuickBooks setup or monthly bookkeeping. You can put in different products that you're consulting, that you offer VIP days. It could even be that you have a product to sell that you created to help them calculate profits or something, and you're selling that at a price, $197, or it could be $5,000, whatever it is that you are putting together for them. But it allows, a simple system allows people to move naturally from content to clarity to conversation. And like I say, it is a know and trust business because we're dealing with money, we're dealing with bank accounts. So it's going to take a little bit longer to establish a relationship with someone. And then once you establish that, then for them to trust you in doing it for you also. So this sometimes can take some time. And then why most people don't buy right away. This is completely normal. Decision making takes time. And they might have to check with someone else. They could have partners, or they could have top employees in their company, or it could be their wife, their husband, their brother, their sister that they want to check with first before they jump into this. But delay does not mean that they aren't interested. It's just that someone is thinking about it. And I can really relate to that because I really, a lot of times I think things over, I pray about it, especially if it's something expensive or is something that's going to take a lot of my time, then I'm really going to consider all the pros and cons of it. But nurture systems respect timing instead of forcing urgency. So when you get on the call with someone, and you're following up with them, you don't feel like pressured or rushed with this person that, oh, I got to have them sign up today. I have to get them started. But just have a more relaxed, peaceful feeling about it. You know that you have your system and everything is just running through your system, just like it would run through a river for you. The right people will show up in your business and you will really enjoy serving those people. But a good nurturing system works quietly in the background. It sends helpful reminders, reinforcing what you do, and builds familiarity over time. You don't need constant communication, you just need consistency. And consistency is the biggest thing. Even if you send them an email and it's one sentence, like every week, you're building up that consistency. Okay. And so I think consistency, it, like for me in my business, it has ruled over everything, because then I'm not having to think about 10 different things, 15 different things. I know it's already in the system. I know I've already made the post. I know that I'm already doing the things that I should be doing in order to get clients without sitting there doing cold calls and looking at Facebook and worrying about where I'm going to get my next client. Okay. So it really helps you that way. And why Gmail still matters. And we went over that a little bit. Automation is powerful, but relationships still matter. And people want to hear from you personally, it personally coming from your email account, whatever kind of Gmail that you have, whether it's a .com or it's just your name at gmail.com, that they recognize that email and they want to receive that email and that message from you. You can do check-ins, conversations, answer questions. Maybe they have a question. And where this, I think, really ties in is then when they have some emergency coming in, I can't get in QuickBooks, or I can't get my bank account to reconcile, or any of these things, then you've been having this relationship with them, then you're going to be the first person that they call. Every system supports 3 types of people: for those who download a lead magnet and are still learning, and there's nothing wrong with that. Second, those who book a call but aren't ready to move forward yet. And third are your warm prospects who need time and gentle reminders. Those are your warm prospects, are people that you're building relationships with, that you've interacted with them in some way. I had someone that joined my boot camp that I did, and so they've been watching my YouTube channel, and so they said, Helen, I just feel like I already know you. So that's, I think, very, very good. It's very supportive of what you're doing and you're making a difference. So when they recognize you. But each group needs a different message, not more pressure. It's just a good way just to give value to people and then do what you can to help them. Like I say, not everybody's going to be ready. A lot of different companies have a lot of different businesses, because when you look at it, a lot of businesses fail every year. And mostly businesses are failing because they don't have somebody that is reviewing their numbers and helping them make good decisions. They can't. A lot of people in business are good at their trade or the thing or their passion of whatever they do, but they aren't that great like at looking at a profit and loss or looking at a chart of accounts in QuickBooks and then saying, oh, this is a mess here, I got to get this cleaned up. They just don't internally know that because it's not what they specialize in, or that's not their thing. So just keep all of that in mind. We have our CRM, and you would click contacts here, and then you can see all of your contacts. Okay. And you can filter them different ways that you want to, but I really just keep the date they entered and whatever their email address is. And then I have it tagged from where they're coming from. There is a pipeline. I don't generally use the pipeline, but you can set up a pipeline. Different things there where you can just move people through that nurturing system. Okay. Then we have our sale sites, which is our websites or sales funnel, our creator stores, blogs, and then our emails here. And so you can do campaigns, which this is where I have the QuickBooks setup checklist. That's how it sends out all my information, delivers the product to someone. Okay. And then also you have your newsletters. So once you have created one newsletter, and they have templates and everything that you can use, but like this January the 1st, once you have this, you can duplicate it and then just change some things in it. Next week, I'm actually going to be working on sending my weekly emails to my roofing contractors. You wanted to create one, you could just create. You'll have your subject, your email. You can do a visual editor. I always do classic. And then it'll give you a bunch of templates that you can start from too. I think the visual gives you the different ones. You could choose that. But I just have mine set up this way, but there's a bunch of templates in here that you could choose from. Okay. That's a way then you can every month go in and create your newsletter and then just send this. I'll open this one up because then it'll show you a little bit more. So you can have your subject, your preview line, and whatever it is that you're saying to them. Your links all down here, like I have it there. You could add any attachments that you want to the email as well, if you wanted to. And then select the tags that you want, where the people are coming from. And you can just send all of these all at one time to all of your contacts. So that takes care of that. But you would set up on System.io your website too. So you could set up your website there. I have mine as actually a sales funnel on here. And so we've been to my website before, so I won't do that. That is basically how your follow-up system, your nurturing system is going to work. And so I will have in the link again for the Calendly if you need that to book calls with. And then also if you would like to join our Bookkeeper connection on Skool, I will have that link as well in the description for you. But once the system is built, it works quietly in the background while you focus on your clients, your work, and your life. So that's why I really love this, that I do all the emails maybe once a month, once every 3 months, depending on the videos that I'm going to be sharing with you guys and what I'm going to be teaching. It coordinates with that. So you have a theme that, you're teaching at the time, or you're a bookkeeping of what you're focusing on. Right now, you might be focusing on new roofers. They need a QuickBooks Online setup. In March, you might be focusing on roofers that need their books cleaned up. So it can be different things, whatever services that you offer, of what your topic is and what your emails would be about, or if you have a new product come out, or depending on the call of action that you're asking the person to take, of what you want them to do next. So it can be any of those things. Thank you so much, and I appreciate everyone hanging out with me, and I just look forward to speaking with you next Friday, where we're going to be going into the final 2 videos of this series. So we will have our complete 7-step marketing system, and I do pray that it's been easy for you to understand. I try and make it really simple of how I've done it and all the pieces and steps that I've put together for it. but it does take so much as a bookkeeper off of our shoulders, having a system for it, because we know our system is working. And I know that this is a good system because I'm working it myself and it's helping me in my business and get clients. Thank you so much. And I hope you have an amazing weekend, and we will talk to you next Friday. Bye bye.